Awesome. Hello, everyone. Valerie Walton here at valeriewalton.com, coming to you live from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And I'm so excited to chat with you today. I want to do something a little fun. Well, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel so fun. And I want to do this with you today. So make sure you sit down with me, pull up your computer or whatever device you're on, and let's get cracking because we're starting to close out a year. It's holiday season. And then as soon as the holidays are over, bam, we go straight into a new year. And it can be an exciting time. It can be a little scary, when it comes to what's next for your business, right? What's going to happen for this new year? How do I start to plan for my success as opposed to fail to plan, which is kind of going to lead to your demise. So we don't want that. Um, when you're working from home, I think a lot of people believe that you just kind of, just however it go, child. You just, today I might work a little bit here, work a little bit there, and I don't know, I might call some folks, I might make some content, I might, it's nothing to do with might. We have to make sure that we are planning our day and using it so that we are as productive as possible. Now, typically, when I'm working with my coaching clients, right, my fellow profitpreneurs, that is when I actually give them what I call a productivity pack. So, normally, the way you get access to that is either through being a coaching client of mine or if you attended my workshop on productivity. So, let me know if you want me to bring that workshop back or if you want more information about my coaching packages because I'm going to be launching those for the new year just in time for us to be able to hang out, have a little fun, and grow that business bigger than it's ever been before. So there's that. The productivity pack has pages on how you can consciously as well as subconsciously become more productive in your home business as well as in your entire life. So the way that that all fuses together is very helpful. Now, the other thing is I like to use I like to use free stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I like to get more bang for my buck when it comes to the tools that I use. So, for example, I use an entire system for my business. It includes a suite of every tool I could possibly think of for my business to be able to grow. And it also gives me the ability to make up to $1,200 on the back end, and I don't even have to sell anything. So that's pretty cool, right? But when it comes to, for you using tools and figuring out what to do, I actually use two free tools to grow my business, to stay productive, stay on top of things. Now, I've mentioned that I use these two tools before in previous videos, but today we're going to go over what to think about when you start planning your day, your weeks, your months, which includes your daily schedule for your business. Okay, so that's going to be fun. And then if you'd like for me to also talk about that second free tool again, I'd love to come back and go more in depth with it than I did before. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go into it. This free tool that I want to show you today is my Google Calendar. And I'm going to show you this because one, it's free, it's simple to use. Two, like I said, we're getting close to the end of this year. So this gives you plenty of time to start playing around with it, getting used to it so that come January, you can use it like a pro. Okay. I also like to use Google Calendar because I can use it on any device. So if I'm on my phone, if I am on my this isn't a desktop, it's a laptop, or even if I'm on my tablet, wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I can always access my Google tools, including the calendar. Okay. So I'm going to jump right into it. Typically, and I'll show you my calendar from an account that I don't really use. Okay. So I'll show you this one. Okay. I don't even know why that's on there, but anyway, how do I share my screen again? I almost forgot. Here we go. And if you're watching me live, make sure you say hello, number one, and then also put a hashtag live in the comment section so that I can say hello to you, give you a quick shout out. remember, if you are watching me from Facebook and you haven't given StreamYard permission to show your name or whatever, you need to make sure that you do that. And I forgot to go check how, so you're gonna have to Google it. Okay. Now I can share my screen. Boom. So as you can see, when you first open up your Google Calendar, it's blank. Okay. So you have, from midnight all the way down to 11:59. Okay. And then this red bar right here shows you basically where you are in the time today. So it's a little after 5 right now, and that's why this bar is a little past the 5 o'clock mark. Okay. Now, when you are looking at this and you're like, ooh, this is a lot of empty space. What do I do with this? I am not going to tell you that you need to have something in every single space and fill it all up. Okay. But what I want you to do is think about three things to make sure that you have scheduled on your calendar. Number one is time for yourself. Time for yourself when it comes to your physical health, your mental and emotional health, spiritual health. These are and also just fun time for you to be able to de-stress, unwind, and however you like to do that. So I want you to think about that. The second thing that I want you to make sure that you have scheduled in terms of your time is time for your relationships, the people that mean the most to you. Make sure that you schedule time with them. And I know a lot of times people are like, well, sometimes it's just like, hey, what you doing? Nothing. All right, let's hang out. No, we have to respect the time that we are using. Time is even more valuable than money. Could you imagine just saying, hey, what you want to do with your money? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's throw it over here. Right? We don't do that, but we do it with our time so often. If you start to respect your time and honor that time, right, you will typically have more meaningful experiences in the time. All right. So make sure you're scheduling time with the people that you care about. And then finally, make sure that you are scheduling time for, your business, of course. Okay. So let me make sure I got everything. You, people you care about, and business. Yep, that's about right. Okay. So now I want you to see my actual calendar. My calendar looks like this. Now I went ahead and jumped to January 2022 because I do have, certain people's like names and some information on my calendars because I have coaching clients, of course. And I just didn't want that shared on this video. Okay. But I do have some things that are recurring. And so that's why they're already here. I want you to notice that you can select how much time. That's why some things are like super skinny thin on here, and some things are a little chunkier, right? A little wider. You can also color code everything. Okay. And I will explain my color code system in a minute, but you might be able to figure it out. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what else typically goes into these spaces, because you don't really see anything business related on here just yet, except for me going live at 5 on YouTube. Okay. And other places now that I've used StreamYard. Okay. So first things first, there's a lot of turquoise blue, right? Or something kind of like turquoise blue. What kind of blue would you call this? I don't know. Ocean blue? No, it's not ocean. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it's blue. Okay. So when you look at this, and I can see what peacock blue is what Google calls it. Okay. But oops, sorry. But there are, certain days of the week where I just have a certain thing for that day of the week. Some things I do every day. Some things I'll do just Monday through Friday. And some things are one-offs. Okay. So when it comes to this, in my peacock blue, I have the things that are for me, whether it is my physical spiritual, emotional health, things that help me to unwind, relax, things that make me feel good about myself. Those things are in the peacock blue. Okay, so you can select whatever your favorite color is. But when I looked at all the colors out of the bunch, this one was my favorite. So that's, since this is what I work on the most, this is what I enjoy looking at. Okay, so I made it this color. Now, when I first get up in the morning, and granted, I must be honest, I do not get up lately. I haven't been getting up at 7 a.m. every morning. I did today, I did yesterday, but I gotta be real. Sometimes I'll be getting up at like 9, 10. Okay. However, when I stick to this schedule, oh my gosh, everything is so much better. I get so much more done in my day. I feel better about what I did in the day. It's just all around good. And it's probably because first thing in the morning, I focus on my spiritual and mental health, right? So call it what you will, but I like to focus, I like to call it my spiritual time, right? Your mindset time, your personal growth and development time, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So I start that off with some prayer and then some meditation and then some affirmations. And I give myself at least this 1 hour block of time. There are times though that I will take 3 hours doing this. I have experienced that. And then I had to work around, move some things around. So I don't want you to put limits on yourself, but I also don't want you to push yourself to do it for extended periods of time if you're new to it. But typically an hour is all that I need. Or if I feel a need to start this earlier, then I'll get up earlier and I'll do it. But typically, on an ideal day, I'll get up in the morning and I like to go outside. However, it's getting cold, and you guys know I hate the cold. So I'll go outside and go get in my car so I can turn it on, warm it up. Now, why my car, Val? Why? You live in a house. What's going on? And it's one, I'm up pretty early and the rest of the family is asleep. So I don't want to disturb them with, me, saying my prayers out loud or saying my affirmations over and over out loud. So I typically will just go outside. I also like to be outside to be surrounded by nature and this big, beautiful earth that we live on that was, I believe, created by a beautiful, loving, intelligent creator. And so it just kind of reminds me of those things. And so I like to be outside. On the days where either I didn't feel like it or it was like too cold, I'm like, no way. Or I don't know, I was lazy. I don't know. I will still do this activity. I don't necessarily have to be outside. It's just that that's a preference of mine. So maybe I'll go into the bathroom, or maybe I will come into my office or whatever. But I typically like to spend time in my office when I am ready to get to work. That is my special environment, a place that I go for a very specific purpose, right? But there are some times that I'll use it for that. So there's that. Then after that, right, I've worked on my mindset, my spirituality, again, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to work on a little bit of personal growth and development. I spend about 30 minutes reading at least a chapter or two out of whatever book I've selected for the month. Then for about 15 minutes, I'll work out. I don't do any heavy, strenuous workouts. There's not really much. Well, typically there's not really much that I need to do to stay in shape. But lately, oh my gosh, I've gained like 15, 20 pounds, child. It's crazy. So I'm like, I might need to up this for 2022 and turn it into 30 minutes as well. And then I also, right after my workout, I go ahead, I have a little breakfast, which is typically just my green shake. But if I'm in the mood for a little more, maybe some toast, maybe some fruit, a salad, something, whatever I have a taste for, then that's what I'll go ahead and fix and eat, because it doesn't take me very long to do. About 5 minutes to make it, 10 minutes to eat it. I'm done. Once I'm done with that, right, this is my physical care. Me taking care of my body, me making sure that I remain fit and healthy. And then it's time to start getting ready for the rest of my day, the work part of my day. So I'll get up, I'll shower, get dressed, makeup, all of that, right? It's action time, right? Lights, camera, action. So that takes me about an hour to do all of it. I take long showers, and a lot of times it's like, oh, I gotta wash my hair, I gotta do this, so whatever. And then I'll get dressed, put some makeup on, do my hair. All of that is in this hour time period. Now, notice this is blank, and this I can use as space for just in case I'm running over. It gives me a chance to catch up, right? Because we're not robots. We're not always going to follow our schedule exactly as planned. And sometimes things do come up. So I leave this blank to account for that. 10:30, that's my, time to remember to take care of my body as a woman who's not planning to have any more children. So y'all know what BC stands for now. Okay. So y'all all in my business. You know that now. Now on Sundays around 11:30, this is when the family gets together and we have church online, right? Because lately, with everything going on with the pandemic and all that has happened, we had started going online and actually enjoy it. We're done no later than 1 o'clock. Typically, it's earlier than this. And then this is time where we can do whatever we want. Okay. Typically Sundays are the day that everybody's just kind of chilling, hanging out, or if we're not together, then it's all separate, right? I might be binge watching some YouTube videos or some Netflix shows. I might take a chunk of this time and dedicate it towards planning the rest of my week for work, or catching up on editing videos or whatever. So this blank space is not just random blank space for just anything, but I get to choose what it's going to be for that particular day. Okay. And then finally, by the evening, if not sooner, we're spending time together as a family. And I set this time aside for family, with the exception of just really one day, sometimes 2 days out of the week. Okay. But typically 5 times a week, I'm spending at least 2 hours with my family doing something. We could be watching a movie together. We could be playing a board game together. We could be going out somewhere together. We're just together, spending quality time. Quality time happens to be the primary love language for all four of us, me, my husband, and my 2 kids. So this is definitely very important. And notice that it is in the dark blue, right? What's this one called? Blueberry. It's in the blueberry. So I have it like that. Stop. I have it like that as a key. So I know, family time. So even if I was on my phone and I couldn't really read the letters because they're too small, that the color wouldn't let me know, this has something to do with family, quality time with family. And then when we're done with family time, it's about time for me to start winding down my day, doing relaxing things to get myself ready for bed. So I'll be reading because that helps me to de-stress. Again, it's back to mindset again. I'll go to meditate again to just, again, unwind, just kind of release everything from what has transpired in this day and be ready to embrace a new day with a fresh, clean slate. And then by 11, I found that both my husband and I are free. So we spend a little private husband and wife time as newlyweds. It's what we do. So we'll spend a little more time together, just the two of us. A lot of times we spend more time than this, but at least this is like when I know for sure, okay, he's done with working or whatever he was doing. I'm done. And I'm much more relaxed after everything in my day. So now we can just focus on each other. So we have that. And let's see. Oh, so I was trying to see if I could scoot it down anymore. It doesn't look like it. So then after that, I'm really going to bed. So I have to do my face, skincare routine and brush my teeth, all that, hop in bed. right? Take my contacts out, child, all of that kind of stuff. My little nighttime routine. Okay. I also, most times in the evening, I will listen to NAPs, night audio programs, or I'll listen to subliminals or like some binaural beats or something. So I have these headsets that I can wear while I sleep. It's comfortable and I can barely feel them. And I just make sure they're not turned up too loud. And then I go to bed, right? And that's how I fall asleep. And then, some people fall asleep to specific sounds like white noise or crashing waves on the ocean or the sound of the, music of Paris or whatever. So if that's something that you find helps you as you sleep, then great. I like to make sure that I am overcoming subconscious, just mental blocks that I may have, whether it's a money block or worthiness block or whatever. So that's why I like to listen to NAPs at night. So there's that. And that's a typical Sunday for me, or a typical day actually, aside from the church part. So then Monday through Friday, you'll notice up here, this is red and it's just kind of sitting on top of the whole schedule day, right? This has to do with the community of entrepreneurs that I am a part of. And we leaders will choose a day that we want to do that motivational morning wake up call. So since this is for January, obviously nobody has filled it in yet. But typically, I may pick a day, like say Friday. I'll pick a day, fill in my information, and then it'll show up for the actual time that it's scheduled, which is 11 a.m. Eastern. Also, at that point, the color changes. So as you can see, everything's purple, dealing with that community that I'm a leader in. If there's something happening, something going on, it's on this calendar. But there are some things that are happening that I'm not participating in that go round. Okay. So for example, new member orientation, 9 times out of 10, it'll be me. But there are some times where we have another leader who hosts that. Okay. So that's why you'll see it overlapping my family time. If it's a Monday that I'm doing it, that's fine. It's just that on that particular Monday, I'll spend 1 hour of family time instead of 2. But on the days that I'm not doing it, nothing changes with family time. Okay. Same thing for our industry-wide webinars. And then same thing for Thursday training. I only do a Thursday training maybe once a month, if that. Sometimes it's once every 6 weeks. And then this industry-wide training is just to remind me we have something going down. I only attend if it's something that pertains to my marketing strategy, or if I'm the one who will be hosting. Okay. Other than that, we'll have family time. But if I need to be a part of this for some reason, then this is just one day out of the whole week that we may have to miss that one. But this wouldn't happen every single Wednesday though. Okay. You can also see I have my live at 5. I have it in pink simply to make it stand out. I think this one's called Flamingo. Yeah. So this is in flamingo, sorry, just so it can stand out and remind me, girl, you better get out there and go live at 5, Chad. What you doing? Time's up, right? So I had to make sure I do that. Now, what's really cool about all of this is the fact that you can just click anywhere in these slots and go ahead and create an event, because that's what each and every one of these are. These are various events that happen throughout my day. So let's say that I'm going to do some planning, content creation planning on Monday at 1. I'll click inside the 1 o'clock box. Okay. And then I could say content planning. And what else is cool is I can change the time. If I'm not going to spend an hour on this, I can change it. If I want to change the color, I can, right? So I simply click more options and it opens up to a full page. And so now I can go in here, and if I only was going to spend 30 minutes on it instead of an hour, then I can save that. Also, if I want to change the color, which I would also make this flamingo, and I'd save that because it's business related. Okay. Now, typically I would take a whole hour for content planning. So notice I can also stretch it and reduce it as I like, all the way to like 15, 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So I'll leave it at an hour. Now, when it comes to the things in my business that I do that are income producing activities, that will be a different color. So you can recall that I mentioned that I am a certified business coach. So I have coaching clients. And the days that I have coaching clients, let's say I had, I had Jane Doe at noon. Okay, cool. So I will put Jane Doe. Sometimes I even put a little more info, like which package she's in. Is she in my Profitpreneur package, or is she in my Limitless Lifestyle package? Does she have the premium? Right. And I put her in there. Now, because this is an income producing activity, because Jane Doe she paid to have her time with me. So what I'll typically do is when they're in my book and I've scheduled them, they're light green. Once we've had this already, or once they have already paid, then I put it in dark green. So I switch it, but only after the session has been complete. Okay. So if I were looking ahead, this would just be in the light green. So all of my income producing activities would be green. And then, so let's say I had, I'll typically have like 2 clients. So maybe I'd probably move my content planning down and have my coaching clients back to back. So maybe instead of Jane, we got Jessica Doe. Right? And she would also be in light green. Right? So, for me as a coach, if they're getting that one-on-one coaching premium package, they're spending, not spending, they're investing $400 into themselves to spend time with me to guide them on what they need to do. So this is an $800 day right here if they are each with me for an hour. If they're with me for longer, right? If they paid for more time, then I would have, of course, make more money, right? Or if they have some kind of a discounted package for whatever reason, then maybe it's 20% off or something like that. But I keep track of these so I can calculate how much money I've made for the day as well as for the week, so I can plan my budget. Okay. So I do like to kind of squeeze my clients in one section of my day. And one of the things that you want to think about when you're going to schedule time for you to do your business activities is start paying attention to when you are your most energetic, most positive throughout that day, right? And for me, this is why I like to deal with my clients anywhere between noon and 4. So this is typically when I take clients, and you may have noticed that if you've tried to book a session with me before. These days I try not to take anyone on the weekends unless it is absolutely imperative. But yeah, 12 to 4 is when I am my most creative, my most productive, my most energetic. And so I feel my most helpful and my most empowering to be able to help someone. So that's why I typically put people in that window. The content planning, though, right? The things I do for my business that is not income producing, but it is useful, right? It's things that I still need to get done. These things can go outside of that time, right? It can go outside of my 4 o'clock time, my 12 to 4 time, or I can, if there's nothing else, if I don't have any other clients scheduled, then sure, I'd love to be able to still fit this within my most productive, my most energetic part of my day, right? So that's how I do that. You also want to pay attention to your circadian rhythm. So you'll notice I am preparing for bed at 11:30. I'm probably in bed by 11:40, 11:45, and dozing off by midnight. And so from midnight to 7, I'm asleep. I get up at 7. Why? Because I naturally sleep for 7 hours exactly. If I tried to make myself sleep longer, I wouldn't be able to. And that's because I pay attention to my biological clock. I pay attention to my circadian rhythm. So this is why I can have a schedule to get up at 7, and I can get up at 7 like clockwork with no alarm clock and wake up refreshed and wake up because I'm done sleeping, as opposed to having a loud, annoying blast of noise like most people do. I didn't want to get up every day of my life like that. So I chose not to, right? So that's another thing that you'll want to start paying attention to as well. So if there's ever, like, let's say I have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment, quick checkup, something like that, then I typically put those in yellow or orange. So let's say I had a doctor's appointment that day, or the dentist, right? And I put them in those brighter colors to make them stand out and to remind me that this is a standalone day. This isn't something that's on, repeating, but it is something that needs my attention and I need to make sure I remember. Personally, when it's something I have to do outside of the house, I typically schedule it on my calendar like 20 to 30 minutes before, so that I'm there early. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to be at the dentist at 11:30, and I leave my house at 11, and I get there at 11:30, but my appointment really isn't until 11:45 or 12 o'clock. Good, I'm early, because you just never know when there's going to be traffic or anything like that. And I hate getting stressed out behind the wheel and I'm cussing everybody out, child. Ain't nobody got time for that. So instead, what I'll do is leave early to account for that. And even if nothing goes crazy and there is no traffic jam and nothing happened, then I'm there early. And people appreciate when you respect time, right? So that is a little tip that I typically like to do. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's got the little toothbrush. That's cute. Okay. And I think they do a little thing like that for when I put workout too. If I were to click on this, yeah, look at the little barbell. Look at that. That's cute. Okay. I don't know why it does that for some things and not others. Like, it doesn't have that for reading. Like, it doesn't have a cute little book. That's messed up, child. Or even for shower. Like, that's weird. Anyway, so this is the way I start planning things out. Now, again, you might be wondering, well, Val, what do you do with the blank time? The blank times are when I look at them and I think to myself, is there anything else that I need to get done today that I haven't gotten done and I haven't scheduled? Right? One of the things that sometimes I don't schedule it, but I do it consistently, is my content. Now you can see that I go live at 5 every day. So that's there. But if there's anything additional I want to do, like put out a post, promote something, send something to my email list, connect with new people on social media that day, then I will use the white spaces for that. Okay. I also have a DMO that I do every day, but I don't necessarily do it the same time of day every day. Okay. So there are 5 things that I make sure that I've done. Typically, by the time I'm looking at the blank space and I use that time for my DMO, I probably have already gotten at least half of what my DMO has on it done. So that's pretty cool. And my DMO doesn't take very long. I really only work about 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe 4 hours on a really busy day. But the rest of this time I can use for whatever I want. So this includes when, one of my kids comes up to me and says, hey, mommy, do you think we can go to the store on such and such day? I'd really like, I got to get a few things. I can make time for that. Okay. So don't think that the blank spaces mean you do nothing, but it gives you a certain breath of fresh air, gives you a little bit of freedom, if you will, okay, to choose what you want to do in that day. Now, I personally like to do it this way because I am a very blue personality. That's my secondary personality, and you see a lot of blue on my calendar. I'm also a red. Red is my primary, believe it or not. You know what? I actually think that's starting to change. I think I'm primarily blue and secondarily red. I think it's starting to change because I don't really care about like competition and stuff anymore. I am very driven, but more than anything, I want my freedom. I don't like people telling me what to do. I like to make my own rules. And so when it comes to that, the way that I make plans, the way that I schedule things is all about, do I feel free? Do I feel like, this is fulfilling for me? Right? Now, I'm not saying that I only do things when I feel like it, because there are days that I know I need to get my content planning done and I don't feel like doing it, but that's why I write it in here. It must get done. It just must. What happens if I don't get this done? The rest of my week is affected. So that'll get written down. So if you're anything like me and you're a blue personality, or according to Myers-Briggs, you find out that you have a P personality, right? More perceiving than you are judging, then you're probably going to enjoy using your calendar like this. If you're more of a J personality, where you're more judging, these are the folks who need things planned. They need to make lists. Or if you find that you are a green personality, if we're talking about colors, okay, or I believe it's owls, if we're talking about the disc profile, then you will probably want to not only have this calendar, but also write a list, right? A to-do list of things. So you would probably have the Trello board going right along with this, or you build it straight into your schedule. So for example, let's say I need to remember to do my 5 steps to fire your boss DMO. So my 5 steps DMO, oops, DMO, right? And I go into more options. And at this point, I'm going to write a description. Notice you can attach a file, right? You can make things bold. You can have a numbered list. You can have bullet points. You can put hyperlinks in here. So you may want to plan your day out so much that you write a list of clients or prospects. And then you'll have, like, look, I don't know. I'm just writing folks in here, but you'll have that. And you may even have some additional notes and stuff like that. So that's totally cool. You can go very specific, right? And again, these aren't necessarily income producing activities just yet. I would make them light green though, because conversations are the path to cash. It's the fastest path to cash. So I'd make them light green. And then I would, all the folks I follow up with, I have notes on them in my CRM, my customer relationship manager, on what the next step is for us as I help them in their business. Okay, so there's stuff like that. Or I might write down what the actual 5 steps are, things like that, and then I save it. Now, in addition to being able to save events, you can also, I hope you notice this, you can also save reminders and tasks. So I can still click on inside of a space, and it asks me here, is this going to be an event like all the others? Is this going to be a task that I need to complete where I make a to-do list? Is this a reminder? So this is something that's like all day, or is it something that repeats every day, every week on Tuesday, only the first Tuesday of every month, annually on the 4th, every weekday, or something that I can customize? And all of this is free. That's the crazy part. Or even a schedule, right? An appointment schedule. And I think I mentioned this before. This is fairly new. I didn't notice it till the last video that I did about Google Calendar. So I myself need to learn a little bit more about it. Okay. I guess this is with the workspace or whatever. However, I typically just write my appointments as an event, because I also use Zoom for my coaching clients, and there's already like something scheduled or whatever. So I'll take a look at this later though. Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry. So let's say you wanted to do a task, right? And again, this could be where you put your DMO, right? It's however you want to do it. Or if you wanted to do a reminder, right? Remember to, for example, I love to put a reminder to pay my credit card, pay them early and pay more than the balance. So I might say, oh, this is going to be every month on, yeah, let's try this. Let's say I want to do it every month on the 4th, right? And we'll just have it be something ongoing. And there, that's my reminder. And when I scroll up, it should be there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did I lose it? Oh, God. Monthly. Let me try it again. I don't know what I did wrong. Monthly on the 5th of every month. Oh, because I put April. Duh. Oh, my gosh. So I meant to say January. Starting January 4th, we'll do the 4th of every month where it will repeat. Oh, no, wait. It's asking me when it ends. Monthly on day 4. Ends never. Done. There we go. Now it showed up. Right? So this would be my reminder. Credit cards. Right? And then this one, since this is, which one is this one? Tasks. I just put task. Right? And again, notice the little check mark there. Now, if you don't need to do this task or do this reminder at a specific time, then what you do is just put all day. You'll click all day, and then it will also show up at the top away from the actual calendar spaces. Okay. Just like how these wake up calls look. So I could do that with this too. And then that way you're just reminding yourself that this needs to get done this day at some point. And again, you can look at these blank spaces and decide when is the best time for you to complete that task or take care of that reminder. So this is how I like to schedule the days, right? It's definitely important to focus on me because I pour into so many other folks. I can't do that if I'm empty, right? I kind of look at myself like a vessel, like a pitcher. My pitcher needs to be full so that not only can I pour into other people, but when I do, I am not completely exhausted and empty at the end of it. Okay, I want to be overflowing. And I think that's pretty much it for the day. Let's just double check. Hello, Susan. Hello. Sapphire. Howdy. What's going on? Yeah, it's showing Facebook user again for some reason. Kathy, I hope you were able to hear, but I'll say it again just in case you didn't. But NAP is Night Audio Program. So it's just, it's a deep form of meditation, in my opinion. Hey, Shaytoya. And my Facebook user here, let me just showcase you anyway. Traffic in the DMV will stress you out. Child, don't I know it? I've been here forever. So I get you. Shaytoya, hello. It's a great demo. You're so welcome. And Shaytoya said, this is awesome. Thanks, Valerie. You're so welcome. Kathy is the one who had asked, what is NAP? So I just answered that. Oh, Susan. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Been going outside more often, feeling much better since doing so. Yeah, and it's healthy not only mentally and spiritually, but it's also healthy physically, right? Getting that source of sunlight and vitamin D, right? So all good. It's all good. Okay. Yeah, child, 10 a.m. I've been trying to do my best to not get up at two digit times, but it feels so good being in bed. I don't want to get out. So yeah, when I'm done sleeping, I might wake up, and then there's some days that I'm up, but I don't get out of the bed. I'm just sitting there. So whatever. But these are things that I take observation for, right? I take inventory of, and I think to myself, as we start approaching the new year, are these habits that I want to carry with me into that new year? Yes or no? And if I feel the answer is no, then I'm going to start now eliminating that out of my daily habits, right? Just because I made the decision that whole new year, new me thing, I can give myself a head start to all of that stuff now, today. Plus, it gives me a chance to practice, right? It's just like riding a bike. You fall off, you get back on, right? So that's what it kind of helps me to do. So hopefully that has been of tons of help for you. Mia. Oh, Mia. Okay. So Mia, I just wanted you to know, can you see how it just says Facebook user right there? I wanted to be able to show your face and stuff, and show your name. So what I'll try to do is remember to go and look up, how do you make sure people can be seen on here? Because you're definitely just as important to me. I want to make sure that I'm able to give you the proper shout out. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out for today. And again, please let me know if you would love to get some exclusive info on how I use the free version of Trello to make my Trello boards and stay on top of my game. When it comes to those white spaces in my calendar, what am I doing with that? How am I able to get so much done in such little time and be able to monetize off of it? You'll definitely want to check that out. And if you haven't already, listen, if you like hanging out with me, then you're going to love being on my newsletter. So make sure you go over to valeriewalton.com. On there, right when you land on that website, you will see an opportunity for you to join my newsletter. So make sure that you do that. There are lots of fun and exciting and powerful things that are coming your way that is going to help you just really go next level in your business. Okay. And also great place for you to be to ask me any questions that maybe you didn't want to ask me in public. All right. So again, thank you so much. And I will see you right back here. Same Profitpreneur time, same Profitpreneur channel. Okay. And I'll see you live at 5.